Sally here. Welcome to my very first official vlog, and today's topic will be boundaries. I absolutely love that book by Henry Cloud and John Townsend called Boundaries. I came across it as a 19-year-old who was just so confused by this concept, which might be simple to many people, but this concept of saying no. I grew up basically being taught that you just don't say no. It's not the loving Christian thing to do to say no to somebody who is demanding things of you, because we're called to give and to carry one another's burdens. But I really needed to come to terms with this idea of saying no. So I read the book and it just challenged me on so many levels. And it set it sort of I set upon a journey where I needed to learn how to say no for myself, and I'm still on that journey. I'm not someone who enjoys conflict, no one does, but I really hate conflict and I really struggle saying no because of the way I was taught and this sort of guilt that I often feel about it. Maybe you call it Christian guilt, but what have you, but I really needed to learn some skills. And I'm proud to say I'm a lot more assertive than I used to be, but still getting there. But the Bible talks a lot about boundaries, and one key verse for me was reading Proverbs 4:23, which says, "Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it." Guard your heart. If we think of boundaries as like a fence, it's about putting a fence around our heart and saying, this heart is precious. This heart is God's. This heart needs protecting. And so we need to protect ourselves from the hurtful actions of others that, sometimes come our way. And because the consequences of not protecting ourselves are pretty serious. The consequences can be depression and anxiety and resentment. And we can start to feel really powerless if we don't learn how to say no. So, I just wanted to take you through some practical tips today for you to note down and go away with, because there might be, look, for many of us, there is a situation that we're struggling with where we feel like maybe our boundaries aren't as strong as they could be, whether it's with a boss or maybe our spouse who, I don't know, might be coming home late for dinner every night and you're just feeling stressed and frustrated. You've got this emotional reaction, but sometimes you just got to look at it and sort of think, okay, I'm feeling this way. How is the boundary being violated? How am I allowing that boundary to be violated? And what do I need to do to protect myself in future? So first of all, you need to identify what's going on, what's being violated, how are you taking responsibility maybe for someone else's behaviour, and what's your emotional reaction to that? And how can we work on that, and how can you set some new rules and some consequences if those rules are broken, whether it's not coming home for dinner on time or a friend who's taking up too much of your time, how are you going to kind of put some controls in place to ensure that you don't continually become wounded? And also look at what need is being met by not setting a boundaries. So by that I mean, sometimes, for example, in relationships, we might sort of be so desperate for friends, for example, that will accept mistreatment because we sort of think, well, they're my only friends and the only friends I've got. They're not that healthy, but they're all I've got and I need friendship. So that need for friendship is perfectly valid, but allowing behaviour that's unhealthy is not okay. And so we need to look to have our needs met in a more healthy way through more healthy friends in that example, in other more caring ways for yourself. And for me, boundaries is about learning to love others in freedom and taking responsibility for our choices and not becoming a victim of other people's choices. Because you have a choice how you care for yourself. And you have a choice as to how you care for others. And often the most loving thing to do is to set a boundary and say, it's not okay. I can't tolerate that. And if that happens again, this is going to happen. There's going to be a consequence. And being clear about that. Ultimately we need to bring these issues before God, who loves us so much and cares about us so much, and will help us to have wisdom with these relationships and with boundaries. And And he will never cross our boundaries. He's our perfect Father who loves us very much. We just need to come to him and ask for help in these very difficult areas and ask for courage and strength to say no when we need to. So take care of yourself, and all the best with setting boundaries. Feel free to chat further about this in the comments, and feel free to send any questions you have or any suggestions for future topics. But it's been lovely chatting with you today. All the best, and God bless.